Gen X, us, me, you, if you're over 50 and upwards. Gen X, we had one of the most precarious, Gen X, let's face it, we had some really bad financial timing when we decided to be born. We are out there in the middle of the pensions to the modern retirement. We started our work careers when pensions were still a thing. But by the time we became adults with adult jobs, those pensions had disappeared and 401ks began replacing them. We had to learn on our feet what, how, when, and where we were supposed to do retirement. Now, a lot of us did a really great job on educating ourselves. I personally got my information on the street from coworkers, etc. A lot of it was questionable, but none of it got my attention and fully impressed on me the importance of regular, consistent savings, not cashing out those 401ks when we transferred jobs to another job, regardless of how desperate times may have been at the moment. We basically had to make it up as we went along. And now here we are. We're in our late 50s. We're in our early 60s. We are thinking very seriously about retirement. And our confidence level on if we have enough, because God knows we've had enough, our confidence level is not there. And we need to start talking about that. And this is video 2. Forbes released a study last week on August 7th, 2026, talking about this, that Gen X, we have got less confidence in our ability to retire and to keep enough food on the table and lights on for the rest of our lives than the boomers and or the millennials or Gen Z have. We're in crunch time. We can't withstand another major downturn of the market and think, well, that's fine. We've got 25, 30 years to go. This is the time where you need to start making more conservative moves. Now, I am not a financial advisor. I am relying on my financial acumen, what I've learned on the street. And I've got a really great financial advisor coach that I utilize from Dave Ramsey's website. And my husband is phenomenal with his study of this. But with that said, I can't be out there, let's say balls to the wall, free balling it with, yes, I said that out loud. But I can't be out there like a cowboy, a bull in a china cabinet with my investments, because I don't have the time anymore to recover from bad decisions or bad markets. Now, we've lived through a lot. We have lived through the dot-com crash. We have lived through stock market crashes, Great Recession, several housing turmoils. We relived through the original Great Recession when Obama and the automotive industry was, oh my goodness, the whole world was shifting at that point. So we've been through it. And now we're the sandwich generation. We are stuck in the middle of caring for parents, and God bless them, all of their bad decisions are being exposed, not just physically, but in their own finances. For those of you who have had to take over your parents' finances and shepherd them into the final chapter of their lives, it's startling. We weren't given the education, but who was going to give it to us? I mean, don't get me started on my parents' finances. But for those of you with kids who are now grown and probably out of the house at least once, a lot of them are still needing support. Now, there were some federal laws that were passed where you have to continue providing health insurance to your children until age 26. Don't have kids, so I am not completely well versed or involved in that. But that doesn't mean you're done at that point. No, these kids are coming back home because of the current housing and situation, rental market, etc. I am absolutely astounded at how much rental fees are these days. But with that said, that impacts us just as much. For those of you who own your home, and hopefully you will be paying that off before retirement so we can do away with the mortgages, but a lot of us never actually owned a home. For those of us who don't actually own a home, that we've been renting all of this time, we're going to have some problems. The amount of money now for rentals versus what we have been accustomed to paying for the last 30 or 40 years is going up exponentially. And Social Security, for those of you who are counting on that, I've got a couple of videos coming out on that. It's a little scary. We got about 6 years till it gets incredibly real. If they don't make some changes soon, we may not even be getting 78% of what they currently record that we're going to be getting. So it's no wonder that we, Gen X, don't have a lot of confidence in what our retirement's going to look like. But there is a silver bullet. There is a silver lining. There is something that we can do because these folks don't know you. They don't know your number. They don't know your household, your savings, your ability to produce income. For a lot of us, full retirement is the dream. For me, it never was. I could never imagine completely stopping work. I would always want to do something. So I will continue working. I am creating my own hybrid retirement. This is what previous generations would have called semi-retired. But if you too are not somebody who completely want to lay it down anytime soon, but you definitely want to quit working for somebody else, there's options for you out there. Down in the description, I've got a Master Your Money plan for those of you who don't know your number, and we'll talk in a minute about that. But I've also got Life Experiences to Income Workbook. This will help you figure out what you know, what has value to somebody else, what's marketable. Even if you are a stay-at-home parent and your full-time job was raising the kids, managing the household, and doing everything that you did, whether it was community events or school activities, etc., you've got skills as well that you can definitely translate into income into your own hybrid retirement. Some of us will keep working because we want to. Others are going to have to work because we have to. There will be a gap between what you got and what you need, but the very first thing you have to do is figure out what you need right now. We've got some good working years left, most of us. A few of us are in a different situation, and if you don't have the ability to work at the moment, this video is not necessarily your roadmap, but keep listening because there's a lot of good information here that you additionally will need. So even though we've had some bad timing, and we don't necessarily know exactly how our retirements are going to play out, we are not victims. This is not our opportunity to say, well, I give up, can't do any more, I've only got a few years left. We got more than a few years left to live, and we've got to figure out how we're going to live. So the first thing you need to know is your number. Go get the free workbook from my website, the Retirement Resource Center. Everything in there is free, and start figuring out what your current monthly expenses are. And then we're going to figure out what your retirement budget looks like. And then we're going to stress test it. While you're still working, before you say, I'm done, here's my notice, or I'm moving on to do my own side hustle gigs, you need to know exactly, because you've been through the Adulting Academy, Adulting 101, 2, 3, 4, and the advanced versions of it. You got to know how much money you're going to need every month and if you can meet your bare minimum. So in this workbook, you're going to go to a Social Security website. You're going to figure out what they, at this point, say they're going to be paying you. You're going to figure out what you have in your own retirement funds, whether it's a pension or a 401k, what you have in savings. And you're going to figure out what your total monthly expenses are going to be. And then you're going to do some math. And this is fourth grade math. It's just plus, minus, equals. That's as sophisticated as it gets. If you really want to go to Am I Ready University, I've got the Retirement Reality Reset Kit and a corresponding spreadsheet that'll help walk you through it without you having to know more than kindergarten math. All right, I am Jenny. This is video 2 in a 3-part series concerning this Forbes article on how Gen X has no confidence that we're ready to retire. We don't need them telling us what our confidence level is. You need to figure out what your confidence level is. I've revisited my numbers. I am confident in my plan. What's your plan? What's your number? Leave down below if you've actually started crunching this or if you're just getting started. I'm Jenny. This has been a Jigger of Jen. I got a little to say about a lot of stuff. Most of it has to do with retirement, about the dollars and the cents, because it's not always about the dollars. Like, share, subscribe. Keep coming back. I'll see you again soon. Stop recording.